Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio guys from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Bannerjee. US inflation was expected to be on the high side and it did not disappoint. 9.1, a fresh record since November of 1981. But interesting bit है जो core inflation है. That is basically if you strip out the volatile food and oil prices or fuel prices, तो जो core inflation है, that has now peaked in March at 6.5 and yesterday it came in at 5.9. But 5.9 was higher than expected of 5.7. तो मोटा मोटा इतना है कि inflation in America, at least the headline, has not yet peaked. And some indications are there that even it may cross 10% in the coming months if this trajectory is maintained. Now, this high inflation means Fed is on the hook to hike by 75 basis points at least. Now, when I say at least, because the bets for a 100 basis point move is also increasing. Last 24 hours, a lot of central bankers have hiked anywhere between 75 to 100. Like the Philippine Central Bank has hiked 75. Bank of Canada hiked by 100 basis points. Even the Singapore Central Bank did an off-cycle hike. Which also means that RBI is going to be under pressure to hike by a significant margin as well. So globally, जब central banks are tightening monetary policy rapidly, at the same time, growth expectations are slowing down. So it's kind of a trade-off which the central banks are doing between growth and inflation. मतलब अगर inflation को नीचे लाना है, you have to sacrifice growth, and that's what they are doing. And that's what's getting reflected in the bond market as well. अगर हम लोग US का bond market देखें, US का yield curve, which is basically yield plotted against maturities. So interestingly, the short-term yields like the 2-year yield is now trading at a significant premium to the long-term yields like the 10-year yields. So this is known as the yield curve inversion. Now, yield curve inversion signals a significant slowdown in growth क्योंकि it means that medium to long-term interest rates are expected to be lower than what it is now, which means interest rate cuts. Now, interest rate cuts क्यों होगा? Interest rate cuts तब होता है when the economy slows down dramatically towards a recession. Now, why I'm saying towards a recession and not a recession itself? क्योंकि अभी जो situation है, that is not been seen, at least in the developed world, not been seen for the last 30-40 years. So इसके लिए just to see the yield curve and say that it means a recession, no, because it just means that inflation may just remain elevated for now and then fall off possibly sometime next year. और उस time it may warrant a rate cut. So अभी Fed में go super ballistic and hike rates, and next year the slowdown in inflation, dramatic slowdown in growth can lead to sharper cuts in the interest rates. So a normalization of the interest rates may happen. So इसके लिए that's what the yield curve is signaling. But nevertheless, a dramatic slowdown in growth or an outright recession, whatever it is bad news for risky assets. इसके लिए when yield curve is inverted in US, it is hard for emerging markets to attract speculative capital, which is basically I'm talking about the FPI flows or carry flows. तो ये situation में emerging market currencies like the Indian rupee will be under pressure. But as we have seen that at high levels RBI intervenes and aggressively sells dollars, that's going to continue. आज अगर हम offshore का quote देखें, so it's not a significant jump which the dollar rupee is showing, possibly around 79, 80, 82 के आसपास the trading may start. But the pressure will be upward. So what is the trade? It's a buy on dip. Now you can use options or you can use futures, but the best time to enter with futures is when there is a pullback in prices, because it gives you a good opportunity to enter with a properly defined stop loss. Otherwise, you can do a long call or a call spread, that can also be considered. Cross currency mein euro continues to dangle at the parity for the last 2-3 days. The question is whether it's going to break parity or not, how much it's going to move lower. See, the parity thing is more psychological than actually it is. तो हो सकता है कि parity के नीचे there could be some large positions of exotic options which may get triggered and there can be a sharper drop. But actually, if you look at the overall thing, there is beyond psychological, there is not much of support around the parity. So, and euro is on a very weak trajectory, considering the macroeconomic situation, considering the risk of gas turnoff from Russia leading to crazy prices in Europe. Already the prices are sky high in Europe, so that's hurting consumers and businesses. So euro dollar will be under pressure. The question is not when, but question is if. The question is not if, but when will the euro dollar break parity and head lower. So euro INR is going to be under pressure too because of the euro dollar. So euro INR and euro dollar both are sell on rise. GBP will also be under pressure, but lesser so, because jab tak global risk sentiment is fragile, GBP will not do well. And dollar yen continues to move higher, and which is going to have a negative impact on the yen INR as well. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. Have a fantastic day ahead.